Hey everybody, welcome back to Gideon's Stuff, and today we're taking a look at the Rough Ryder High Carbon G10 Bow Trapper. I'm not sure what's the... I guess that's the name for this thing. So, yeah, interesting looking knife. Let's go ahead and jump right into the review. I've had this knife for a while. There for a couple months, about a year back, I was really into traditional slip joints, and I still am, but I just haven't got a whole lot recently. Okay, so if we just start a sharpened edge, we're coming in under 3 inches. If we go all the way back, we're coming in just a tiny bit over 3 inches. I think the same is true of the spade blade, but we will double check because I don't want to be wrong. Yeah, it looks about the same. Okay, so we're going to pull out the clip point blade for our size comparisons, which we will jump into right now. So first of all, the rats. So yeah, it's kind of a rat 2 size knife. Bring out our Civivis. There's the Elementum, the press. So yeah, not a not a huge knife. Next up, let's bring out the PM2, the bug out. Very nice, very nice. I'm not trying to copy B's blades there. And let's go ahead and bring out a couple of traditional knives. Here is a case trapper. And we'll also bring out, where did I put it? I pulled it out for this review, and there it is. And one of my favorite traditional pocket knives ever made. This is another Rough Ryder. This is the Rough Ryder Reserve Swell Center Whittler. Love this knife so much. This is a great knife. Absolutely fantastic. But yeah, there we go. Okay, so what are we looking at for our materials? Well, our blades are a carbon steel. I couldn't find... I mean, I probably could have done a little more research, but I couldn't find anything that explicitly said what the carbon steel was. It's probably a very simple carbon steel. The scales are G10. We do have red G10 liners, and then I think we just have like die-cast metal or something for our shield and bolsters. Yeah, and then we have this plastic bead on a lanyard. So, there's the knife. Let's go ahead and get to the cutting footage.
You know what I hate? Newfangled fancy inventions. You know what I love? America, gosh damn it! This is all you need. This is the only pocket knife you ever need. You take your stupid pocket clips and you chuck them. You take your fancy blade shields and you chuck them. You take your fancy locking mechanisms and you chuck them. This right here, this is what settled the West, my little boy. That's all the knife you'll ever need. What are you out here being, Rambo? Rambo? Hell no. That's where it's at, boy. That's where it's at.
Alrighty, guys, we were talking about the Rough Ryder Bow Trapper, and holy son of a gun, it is hotter than hell's furnace in here. Alright. This is the Rough Ryder Bow Trapper. And I think someone should tell that old codger from earlier that these are made in China. But jokes and everything aside, this is actually just a pretty cool homage to some more classic designs. So let's go ahead and talk about this knife. So let's talk about the action first. The slip joint, there is no half stop or anything. And honestly, the pool is a lot mushier and grittier than Rough Riders I'm used to. Normally, Rough Rider does a good job with their actions. This one reminds me, I mean, it has no half stop, so they're kind of going for the case style, I guess, but it just feels gritty and just not as satisfying. Not as satisfying at all. So, yeah, kind of a bummer there. One thing they do all right, though, that I will give them credit for, is they have their pulls on opposite sides of the blades. That's something I always like. When you have, you know, this, we'll call it the right side and left side knife. The right side knife should have a pull on the appropriate side, you know, something to grab onto. You know, either get your nail in there or, you know, just a little bit of tactile feeling for your thumb. I think that's always appreciated. At least for me it is. Let's go ahead and talk about the ergonomics. Yeah, actually the ergonomics are pretty nice. Having this bow in the handle gives it a pretty good feel in hand with either blade. I think I do like it better with the clip point blade. When the spade blade is closed, it just kind of matches the contour of the handle a little bit better, but they both work out pretty nicely. So ergonomics are fine. Nothing amazing, but nothing that I would really complain about either. What is that? Huh. Whatever this little gold plating they have on the inside here. Can you see that right there? I thought that was a little weed. That's actually part of the... Yeah, that's actually part of that gold stickering? Plating, whatever? I don't know. It's a cheap knife. We're not gonna complain too bad. Carry. You can just drop it in your pocket, right? It's a pocket dropper. You put it in a slip if you want. It's got this little lanyard dangle on here you can grab if you really want to. But yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and do some cutting. So 2 blades. The steel is a carbon steel. I'm not sure exactly what Rough Rider is using. I'll have to double check on that. I just know that this is the carbon series. And we are going to have to go and grab some cardboard. All right, we are back with cardboard and water. Okay. We'll do a couple of strokes with each blade. That actually felt really nice, honestly. Okay, no complaints there, right? Let's grab this thing. Here's what we'll do. Pull through with that one. Huh, actually did really nicely on that. I bet the spade blade's going to do awesome. One, okay. Actually, the clip point blade did better. Interesting. But not bad at all. Go ahead and grab our pool noodle here. Let's do a little bit of trimming. All right. Whoa, we got a little bit caught there, but that actually felt all right. And then we'll just do one cut with the other blade. Yeah, so yeah, we got caught a little bit on the unsharpened edge. But, where'd that other one go? There it is. Overall, not too bad. Not the best I've ever seen, but not too bad. I'm definitely A-okay with those results. So, let's go ahead. Let's get back to the table and talk about this knife. Alrighty, let's get into what I'm liking and not liking about this knife. It's probably going to be pretty quick. Number one, I do like the overall design. That's what drew me to this knife. I think it's a good looking knife. Well, let's focus in here, camera. Yeah, I think it's a good looking knife. I've always been a fan of the trapper pattern. I love the classic trapper design, and so when I saw this bow trapper, I thought to myself, that looks different, that looks unique. I like that. I was a big fan of this spay blade, a very, very different looking kind of take on the spay blade, kind of aggro, but yeah, thought it looked really, really good. Next thing, the ergonomics on this are actually really nice for traditional. It does curve into your hand, and yeah, I just feel like I can really get some work done with this. It's a little bit of a pistol grip, but it works out really, really nicely with either blade. Yeah, you feel like you can get some good work done. Especially on the spade blade, you can like really choke up in here and feel like you can get down to that big belly there. Next, I like the way that Rough Ryder did the pulls on these blades. You can see that we have them on opposite sides. And I think that's always really, really cool. I mean, of course, on this knife, there was really no choice because, you probably couldn't get to the blade. But like if we look at this case knife here, you can see they have the pulls on the same side. And so this one's a little bit harder to get to. So if they'd moved it over to here, it would have been easier to get to, and you wouldn't have had to use your nail. You could just, like with this knife, you don't have to use your nail, which I don't really like to. Sometimes I grow out my nails so I can use them better on knives, but you can just grab it and open it, and that's really, really nice. So I appreciate that. Another thing I like, this kind of goes back to the looks, but I like what they're kind of going for here with the black G10, the red liners, and the titanium coated blades. I think there's a really cool. What am I looking for? Color scheme, or I don't know. Yeah, we'll call it color scheme. I think it's really cool. Like the little shield here. And the blades are all right, actually. The carbon steel is not bad. For traditional knives, not bad at all. It works pretty well. So that's okay, I guess. And the next thing I like is that these are dirt cheap. You can get these for as low as $15 if you look in the right places. And yeah, I think that's reasonable for this knife. Okay, let's go ahead and get on to the things I don't like. And as I talk about these things, do remember $15 to $17 for this, right? So first of all, I hate the action. I hate the action on this. There's no half stop. You can hear the snap on the close with this blade. Quite a snap. This one doesn't really snap, and you can see how it got like stuck there. And listen to this. Can you hear how gritty this is? And it's just not, I mean, it is super, super unsatisfying. It's mushy and gritty. This blade's a little bit better, but I still don't really like it that much. I wish they had half stops. And especially when you compare it to other Rough Riders. I know this is this is a much more expensive Rough Rider. But even some of the less expensive Rough Riders. Oh, that is an excellent walk and talk. Got a very nice pronounced half stop. And it slams closed like a champ. Love that. Whole lot. And yeah, this knife doesn't really do that. And it doesn't even really do, like Case doesn't do half stops. But a Case knife is very smooth and it thwacks open. Snaps closed really nice. So just not a huge fan of the action on this thing. Next thing, the fit and finish just is not all that great. Just being honest. Yeah, you can see all the gapping there. Yeah. Not the best fit and finish. Again, very cheap knife. Very, very cheap knife. Also, this thing is stupid. I hate this. I don't know why it's on there. I mean, I do know why. It's decorative, but it looks stupid. I just don't like it. Of course, though, you can take it off, and then you've got a nice little lanyard post, which is actually kind of cool. So if you want to put a lanyard on this, you have the ability to do that. And you can put one that you actually like, put a good functional one on there, and that will be very, very good. The sharpening on this thing was not very good out of the box. and I really just dropped it up while I was using it just to kind of, keep an edge on it, which it does not hold the greatest edge, but that's kind of be expected. Oh my gosh. But you can see here, yeah, just a little bit wonky. Still, cheap knife. How much am I going to complain, right? So let's go ahead and get into my final conclusions. Final conclusions. This knife is fine, right? This knife is fine. And if you're a, Rough Ryder collector, which a lot of people are, I'm sure you have a bunch of knives from this series. For the price, like $17, my expectations aren't that high, right? But still, I did end up feeling just a little bit let down. The action's just horrible. The fit and finish is not that great. And especially when, I've got a knife laying around here right now, maybe. Maybe I don't have it here anymore. I might have put it somewhere. Okay, I don't have it. But I've had Rough Ryders that are this same price or even cheaper that had really amazing fit and finish. And so, yeah, this one feels like an outlier. Compared to all the other Rough Ryders I've ever owned, this feels like it wasn't even made by the same company. So I'm not a huge fan of this. I like the pattern, and actually I might pick up another one of these patterns in one of their other series that might be a little more well made. But yeah, so this knife, do I recommend it? Honestly, no, I don't think I do. It's, again, for $15, it's fine. It's an absolutely usable, acceptable knife, but I just don't know why you would get it. If you're into collecting cheap slip joints, there are plenty of options out there that are the same price, that are a little bit, made the same way, and most of them are from Rough Ryder themselves. So, if you really love Rough Ryder, you can still buy lots and lots of Rough Ryders. Just, I'm not a huge fan of this one. I'd give this one a pass. But that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a like, comment below, and subscribe. I've been Gideon, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.